Everyone, welcome back to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Durling. Joining me once again from my rock and roll heaven, it's Mr. Chris Preston.
Greetings. Hello. Thanks for having me back. Always love talking cassettes with you, Tim.
Always great to have Chris on. Chris has a massive cassette collection. I've
I
been wanting to
do.
do this episode for a long, long time. This is not going to be a very long one, but this is another cassette episode for those of us that grew up in Canada, and because there's a very, very distinct subset of cassettes that were put out by PolyGram in
Yep.
Canada, Mercury and all associated labels. And it was whereas CBS had their chromium dioxide, Capitol had their super dynamic range. Every record label claimed to have the best sounding cassettes. Well, the PolyGram answer to that was something called QC10, and it was a 10-step. When we get into showing the
Yeah, we'll
cassettes,
show
there's
you.
a
Yeah.
10-step
Yeah.
thing of why these were supposed to be so much better sounding than everybody else's.
I still don't buy it all.
No, but what was really funny is that every one of them would say quality has a name. And a buddy of mine, Brent, said that when he was a kid, he'd always sign his name after that. Quality has a name. Yes, it does. Now, I don't know if he's serious about that, but I think it's
So
funny.
funny.
So, and because Chris is so great at doing research,
Oh,
he's
I'm
actually
always.
got a little article about this series of cassettes. So I'm going to let him take it away, and then we will get started on what each of us have for these QC10 Canadian polygram
All
cassettes.
right. This is going to be fun. Shockingly, considering like I said, have almost 800 cassettes and I only have 14 of these, I was a little bit surprised. But yeah, so cassette quality was garbage in the 70s. Let's just
Yeah,
say that. I have
yeah.
a few and none of them work. So like you said, all the labels put some money into their cassette production standards to have a good quality product because these were the main selling physical
Yeah.
medias going into the 80s. So I've got an article. I'll just show you the page, but I'll read you a bit out of it. This is from the Canadian publication RPM, which was our version of Billboard,
Yeah.
their May 21st, 1983 issue. And this is an article about PolyGram Canada launching their new line of QC10 tapes. And the reason they went with all the different labeling is to let customers know that they were using higher standards to make these products. So I'll just go down quickly to the main reason why they did this and how they did it. So there's 10, and I'll show you on the first one, there's 10 specific items. European quality standards is what they were going for here. So, in terms of the equipment, the components, the technical standards, quality control, they call out European trained staff specifically. So, tape clarity, low distortion, silent running, packaging, high frequency phasing. So, the idea was if you're buying a PolyGram QC10 cassette, you know you're going to get the highest standards of quality sound and tape in the world. So these were actually manufactured at the Canadian tape plant in Montreal. And the supplier or the original PolyGram Hamburg, the idea was the quality of the cassettes produced in Montreal were to absolutely match and meet the standards of the imported German PolyGram cassettes. So the whole idea was again, people were, you know, buying more cassettes. This was to ensure that they knew that they were getting good quality. So the launch of this, we'll note this because this is interesting. So the QC10 launch officially kicked off May 2nd, 1983 in Canada. And they did a whole thing with they put out like a displayers in stores that held them all. They had all kinds of marketing that went around it. And that's kind of where the advent of it happened and what they did with it in Canada. Again, to make sure that people knew they were getting these good quality products, right?
Yeah.
So let's dive in.
Yeah. So what's interesting about that, when Chris mentioned that to me, he said 1983, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I've got three cassettes that predate that. Now, two of them are obviously reissues, but one isn't, I don't think.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into why I think that now. So Chris and I are just going to go through what each of us have. The earliest one I have originally came out in 1974. Is that
I know,
something?
I know
Yeah,
who you're
you
talking
know
about.
exactly. Yeah, you just don't know what you just don't know which one.
Oh, this is true.
So the first one I'm going to talk about is the debut Kiss album. See, it's interesting because you've got it's the rectangular shape, but it works with this picture.
It does. It does. It would look weird,
So
I think, if it was
so here we go. So here we go. It's so Casa's got the you still use they're not on, Casablanca didn't exist really past
exactly.
82, but for the Kiss reissues they still used it, which I think is kind of a cool thing. But there it is. QC10. I'll turn it upside down. So
There you
yeah,
go.
QC10, and this yellow wasn't always yellow, but
Nope,
but
was
that
not.
really helped them stand out. There's the back, and this is the original case with PolyGram embossed. And this is what the cassette looked like. I've seen ones like this with a small window.
Oh, interesting.
This is one with a larger window in the sticker, and it's got like the credits that were on the back of the record all in a
Yes.
semicircle like that. So yeah, obviously Polygram would have reissued the Kiss catalog like that.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I think you'll probably agree with me. I know I had other cassettes that were QC10, but the versions that I have now aren't, even though
Yep.
they're Canadian. So at a
Yep.
certain point they stopped.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
that's
mean, looking like the latest one that I have is 87. So
same here. Same here.
I
Yeah.
don't know past then if it kind of stopped.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That's the only one I've got from the 70s. If you've got any from the 70s, let's see
Well,
them.
I've got this is interesting because I've got the Kiss
Yeah,
debut, right? Reissued.
yeah.
Mine's a
So
little different though. Mine is
yeah,
the
like that. Yeah, yeah. That's what my Hotter Than Hell looks like, but it's not a QC10. So
black version,
yeah,
and the other difference is it's got the polygram clear case with the polygram
yeah, yeah. That would probably a slightly later one.
boss there. So that that's it. So I'm not sure which. Probably yours was first.
I'm
I'm
thinking it
guessing.
was because it's got the darker case and it's got the
Exactly.
because the stickers were sort of like the first thing to go, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I've got a couple other, well, 70s ones because they're Kiss.
Yeah,
So I've got as well, I've got
Dress to
Dress to
Kill.
Kill. Now this one is the paper.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I've seen copies of the debut that look just like that with the smaller window. And I also like how it says Polygram right next to the window. It's embossed on the cassette.
Exactly. Right there. Yeah, which is cool. And then very basic though
Yeah.
inners on these,
Yeah.
which I always liked having the more substantial inners. But
Yeah.
then I've also got Rock and Roll Over
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
This one as well is the paper label. So same. These were all released, I'm guessing, at the same time,
Oh, if you look at the catalog numbers, yeah, that they pretty much
right?
is just a lot of them were released in chunks at a time.
Very basic.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Love Gun.
Yeah. Interesting seeing them use up all of the available space.
Yeah, and it's another one as well with probably
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
release issue with the paper label. Very limited. Somebody's written on this inside, but very limited, right? Song
Yeah.
titles and basic production
Yeah. And no
credits.
pictures or yeah.
So that was the interesting thing that I found about these QC10 polygram. You would have thought they would have gone a little bit more kind of in depth on the the inner lyrics sheets. There's no lyrics. Like they're
But then
spending all this
again, none
money.
of those Kiss albums I think came with lyrics until.
That's true. That's true.
But
That's
you'd
a,
think they'd shown some of the pictures and
oh yeah, because Kiss always had pictures and
yeah, like
things.
the Love Gun had the Kiss written in blood and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
and the
So
Kiss fans, we look for that stuff. So
100% we do. Absolutely. So that's all of the 70s ones I've got.
okay. Now the next one I have originally came out in 81. Do you have anything that's from 80,
I do not.
80, 81?
I do not.
I'm a little surprised that you don't have
Yeah,
the 80,
I
the
do not.
81. This is actually the first version of this I ever owned, or it looked like it. I bought this in summer of 88. Little album called High and Dry.
Oh my God. I do have them. Oh,
Go
Tim.
go ahead. I'll talk about this while
Yeah,
you
you
get it.
talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm trying to think. I think Hysteria was the first thing that I bought, but this was the second because this
Right.
was right around the time the Historia home video came out, and I loved Let It Go, High and Dry Saturday Night, and Bring It on the Heartbreak. So I had to get this.
Exactly.
Now I remember borrowing an old High and Dry cassette from my cousin and recording it onto a blank cassette tape. So I was familiar with the album, but of course, this is the '84 reissue, which
Yes.
also included the remix of Bring It on the Heartbreak, but most importantly, Me and My Wine. And this has the small window in it, but I've also seen ones that have the larger window. And
Okay.
there's very little for credits in this, but
But
this
here we go.
has,
Yes.
yeah,
Take us through it. Take
this
us through.
has okay, this doesn't say it on the inside, but I think when I bought the CD, which is the same issue as this, it says special thanks to Phil Collin, like an afterthought, because I mean Phil had nothing to do with
Oh,
seriously. Yeah,
wow.
it's like Phil had nothing to do with this album, obviously.
Nothing.
All right, so quality has a name. Now, here are the 10, I guess, criteria exclusive to PolyGram. European manufactured equipment, European trained staff, European technical standards, European quality control standards, high quality components, duplicating integrity. Duplicating integrity. What does that mean exactly? I don't know.
When they were running off all of the duplicating the original, I
Oh,
guess, right? The masters, I'm guessing, duplicating the masters.
but it almost sounds like you can make copies of these and they still sound good. They wouldn't be doing that. Excellent signal to noise ratio. You don't have the low distortion, full frequency spectrum, and quality craftsmanship. And I guess, I don't know. I mean, I get that they sound okay. I don't remember having any problem with them, but I didn't have anything to compare it to either.
This is
But
true.
yeah, so yeah, obviously, I mean, this came out in '84, so the original version wouldn't have been a QC10.
So
I
I'm
do
an
have.
idiot because I have,
I was going to say, surely to God, he's got some of these on
you know
The
what?
Def
And they're
Leppard
sitting
ones.
up here on my shelf stacked. I've
Biggest
got,
Def Leppard fan I
right?
know. Yeah, yeah.
Got them. I've got them. I have also, obviously.
On Through the Night. Yeah, that was my original On Through the Night tape. The one I have now is a US one.
But just talking about high and dry for a bit here. So I've got two versions. These are both Canadian versions,
Yeah,
but here's the difference. Again, depending on which one was first, paper label,
yeah. I've never seen one like that.
the
Mine's the
Def
same
Leppard
as now.
logo.
See, I've seen one that's somewhere in between because I've got the one with the small window, but but I've also seen ones with the blue sticker that look like this, that are this size.
Right.
So this is at least three. And the other thing is, it's interesting, and this is something I've talked about a lot with Brian Foster, who's got that excellent Y&T vinyl. Um, in the U.S., most record companies there were four pressing plants, so
Yeah.
that's why you'd see variants. In
Yeah.
Canada, I'm pretty sure there was just one. So
Yeah.
when
Just the
you
one.
see
Yeah.
differences in them, that's a different issue.
And just quickly, that's Beyond Through the Night.
Now, see, my On Through the Night, I would have bought that in '88 as well, and it's got the bigger window. Other than that, it looks the same. Yeah.
Quality has a name.
Yeah. And
There
that
we
was
go. Glad you
fun.
reminded me.
Yeah, that was fun because that was the last one I needed to get. I mean, there were only four, right? But that was the last one. I'd only heard Hello America, so I remember listening to that and think I liked it. I've always liked On Through the Night, but it is very different.
Well, it's very different. I
Yeah,
had a hard time listening to it because I discovered Def Leppard in the mid 80s, and going back after listening to Hysteria and
yeah,
going back to On Through the Night is like, oh,
yeah. Joe sounds different. The band was so raw,
completely.
but when you listen to it now, when you listen to the vocal harmonies and stuff, they were so talented at such a young
Oh,
age.
absolutely.
You could
Absolutely.
tell they. I mean, I think people knew this. These guys are going places.
We could do a whole Def Leppard cassette. I've got multiple I've got multiple everything from that era.
Maybe we
So
should. We
we
should at some
should. We
point. Yeah.
should.
So the next one I have is the one that I was talking about that predates this program. It's from
I
1982, and we
wonder if it's the
probably
same
have
one.
the same one. Let's hold it up.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, okay. Although it's funny you should mention that. Okay, go ahead. You talk about yours first, but there is a connection, believe it or not.
Okay, well, I'll be interested to hear what that is. So
Yeah.
this is 1982, John
Mhm.
Cougar's classic album, American Fool. So this is interesting. There's the
QC10, but
E10.
it's not yellow.
This is manufactured by PolyGram in Canada. There's the I
Yeah.
liked their labels when they did the
Yeah.
paper. Got the
Me
Riva
too.
logo up there.
And of course, his albums had Riva. It
Revo,
was like
yeah,
his, that was his
label,
sub labels or
sub
whatever.
label.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's really interesting as we're talking about this, and this, when I've read the article, I was like, wait a minute, because look,
Exclusive to PolyGram. Whoa.
there's
And it looks different. It's
the
different
quality as a
font.
name is there, and look, they've got this weird,
Yeah. I wonder if and it's made to look like a couple of cassette reels.
right?
I wonder if they didn't import part of the artwork from Germany or whatever. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. So this is, and it says right on here, this is made in Canada,
Yeah.
and there's your QC10. Like, so I'm not sure. Like, did they? I guess maybe it's possible that they had started this and then the official launch,
Maybe it's what they call the soft launch
soft launch.
or soft opening.
There you go.
Also, that was a huge album.
Oh,
So
massive
that
album.
so that might have been reissued, but that looks like a pretty old.
It
Oh,
does. Well,
okay.
and the thing that, well, and the thing that I would say it's original and not a reissue is the paper label,
Right. Yeah, that kind of marks it, doesn't it? Yeah.
I think. But
So okay, well, I spoiled mine. One of my prized possessions, I found this for $2 in 1995, and it was the first time I'd found a version of this with the original cover, Kiss Creatures of
mine
the
doesn't
Night.
have the original cover.
One of my favorite Kiss albums. But
That
this
is
is
Eric
on,
Carr's
yeah,
masterpiece.
yeah, that is, so it's got the Casablanca logo, but it's also got the QC10, not yellow,
Yellow.
and it's on that case with the polygram.
Yep.
Other than that, looks just the same as you'd expect. As a matter of fact, like I've got the 85 reissue of this, and it used to be QC10 when I first bought it, but the version I have now is not. But if you hold the back up to it, they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
So they really didn't change a lot. Here's the cassette itself.
Yeah, I
So
love
they're
that.
using a sticker. But yeah, this is clearly pre-1983. And this album, yeah, oh, look at that. I never noticed this before. It's got the
There you go.
same print, same style. So what I was getting at, and there are people that know way more about this that can feel free to correct me, but I don't know if it's a test pressing or just a fluke, but there are, I think, I think we're talking vinyl, but there are versions of Creatures of the Night that the sleeve, everything normal, one side is Kiss, the other side is Mellencamp, is
No
the
way.
American Fool album. Now, I, I I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but they must have come out right around the same time.
Yeah.
And they're both put out by PolyGram, even though there were different sub labels.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, there is a weird connection there between those two. So that's funny that we held those up and they're totally different. uh, okay, so the next one I have, the next three I have are from 1983.
Yep, I've got three.
Okay, so if you go ahead and hold one up, if I've got the same one, I'll hold it
Well,
up
I know
too.
you. I'm going to hold this one up because I know you have it.
Okay. Oh, I did. I've got an American copy now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Pyromania.
yeah. And I
So
got, you know what? One of these days, I think I've got to get one of those again because I like the way it looks on the side so much better than the US one.
right, like that
Yeah.
really stands
There's
out,
no
and
color on the US one. It's
yeah,
small
yeah,
printing. Yeah.
and it's got
That
the paper label. It's a
now
little
the
more
version I
modified.
had was had a small window. I think the sticker was the same
Yeah, and that's the
otherwise.
big window. Now this is interesting. So the liner notes. Look at this.
Yeah. I always thought it was weird they had the lyrics to Photograph,
Right.
but that was it.
That's it. So this, I'm guessing, is an original. This isn't a reissue. I don't think because of
Doesn't look like it.
no, exactly.
Looks well
So
worn.
it's well worn. It's got the paper label.
Yeah.
That's a that's a classic.
Yeah. So the next one, band we've already talked about. Pick
Mm.
it up. Again, not yellow, but QC10. Ah,
Oh.
Yeah, so it looks pretty much the same.
Oh, sorry,
Mine,
that was you have the black case. I had the
yeah,
clear with the
mine's got a black
polygram.
polygram case. Now, hard to tell what was the original one. The tape itself, though, a little bit different.
Oh, I've got the black.
There you go. So this is obviously an older one.
Yeah, you've got I think the older version.
And this does not have the quality has a name. It's just the KISS information.
Same with
Yeah,
mine.
exactly the same.
That's cool.
That's
Okay.
cool. I love comparing these because,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got the same one. Well, yeah, same, only
It is
different.
funny, like you said, Tim, like cassettes had so many more
Well,
variations.
because of the size and the room that they had to use, they are very different from
Yeah.
territory to territory. The next one I have is as far as these QC10, I've got three of them that are real prized possessions to me because they're rare. The Creatures of the Night is one of them. Now, this next one is not a rare album, but it's rare on this label, and you'll know immediately what I mean.
Oh, wow. I have never seen that.
So this is Metallica, Kill 'Em All, their first album on Bonsai Records,
Yes.
which was a
Sure.
Canadian metal label that was distributed by PolyGram in Canada. So Metallica actually had major label distribution in Canada before they did in the US
That's
by about a
wild.
year, because they signed to Elektra after Ride the
Yes.
Lightning had already come out. So they Bonsai would get stuff that came out on Megaforce Records. Um, and a lot of UK stuff, like a lot of stuff that was never really that big. Although you can find like early Slayer, early uh, Anthrax, the first Megadeth album, uh, different things like that. Real heavy stuff, like super heavy stuff, Venom and stuff like that.
Venom.
But you can get this and Ride the Lightning that have QC10 and like all of the Bonsai records I know of, they don't say side one, side two, or side A, side B. They say this side and that side.
I love that.
Here's the tape itself.
That's really cool. I've never
Yeah.
seen that.
So, and it actually has some credits. Somebody wrote their name in it too, but it's actually got some credits. So I have this version on cassette, and then I've got a Canadian vinyl of Ride the Lightning. So those are the only two, but I just thought it was interesting because obviously
Yeah, that
you're used
is.
to seeing them on Elektra. And the last one I have is a great album, and I've got something something I just as we're filming this, something I just found out this morning um, about somebody in this band. So this is an album. This is one of those bands that were on different labels compared to the US. In Canada, their albums were typically on PolyGram, some sort of PolyGram label, in this case, Vertigo. In the US, this album would have been on Warner Brothers. And I'm talking about the last Thin Lizzy album,
Oh my.
Thunder and Lightning, which is a great album. And it's again not yellow, but it's a QC10. So there's the Vertigo logo. That's what it looks like, on the side. And there's the tape itself. So what I wanted to say about this is that, and actually, hold on, this actually has, it's got the QC10 stuff, but it's got a fair amount of credits in it too.
Oh
This is
yeah.
the one that John Sykes played on before he
Yeah.
joined Whitesnake. Now, a YouTube page called NYC Rocks. Oh, I can't remember the rest of. They put together an excellent two-part documentary on the late John Sykes, who passed away earlier this year, and our buddy Peter Kerr from Rock Daydream Nation pointed out to me that we're actually in it. He and I are actually in it
No
because
way.
I was on Rock Daydream Nation talking about the first Blue Murder album, and these people use all kinds of clips. They've got Eddie Trunk
Right.
in it, and they've got Martin Popoff in it, but there's some clips of us, and my hair is ridiculously long, and I hadn't cut it. But yeah, so I was very really really pleased to find that out. But yeah,
Look that up.
Thunder and Lightning is a great album. That even if you're like Thin Lizzy, the boys are back in town. This sounds nothing like that. This is a full on '83 metal album,
Yeah.
and John Sykes is just ripping. Like
Oh,
you
he's
could
so
just
good.
yeah. So anyway,
Imagine if he had ended up in Def Leppard,
I don't think
which
that would
was
have worked
it
at
wouldn't have
all.
worked, but he was considered.
I know, yeah, but I don't think that would have worked at all.
No, would have gone badly.
Yeah. So that's all I got from '83.
I have two from '83, and we're
Okay.
going to the opposite end of the musical spectrum here. don't people out there that, this is it was with a bunch of cassettes I bought from somebody. Air
Okay.
Supply's Greatest Hits,
Yep. Yep.
which was played to death in my house by my parents back in the day. But that's the
So
QC10.
that's interesting because so they were on Arista,
Yeah.
which eventually ended up being distributed by RCA, I think, or BMG, RCA BMG. But
Yeah.
earlier they were distributed by PolyGram because you can get well, most people that watch our channel, if they've got any Arista tapes, they're probably Crocus because
Oh, right, right.
I've
Yeah.
seen some of their early albums that have the QC10 on them.
But look at that little logo if you can see it.
That's different. What
So
is that?
that's Big Time Records,
I wonder if that was their Australian label.
which must have been their Australian label because it's in the credits as 1982. Their songs from 82 on this, whichever they were Big Time Records. And 83, Arista Records, like you said. So,
Yeah, interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
And then the other one I've got from 83, this was a massive album with a massive song. I think it's their best selling effort, Culture Club.
My sister had this cassette, this
Colored by
very cassette.
Numbers.
Yep, yep. So Virgin was also distributed by PolyGram in Canada, which is
Yes.
interesting because in
So
the States they were distributed by Atlantic.
PolyGram had a massive roster
Yeah,
of labels.
yeah, yeah. That's the same because I had a feel for some reason I wonder if it's that Culture Club one, and I couldn't remember what it was called. I just knew it was purple.
Color by Numbers with Karma
Yeah,
Chameleon.
Carol McMillan. Yeah, yeah. That's really interesting when you look back at the distributors because you see things that you wouldn't like that Metallica one. It's like,
Right. Right.
huh? How does
Exactly.
that happen? That's like when I found the Night Ranger Midnight Madness on CBS. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
What?
exactly. So that's it from 83. I've got a
Okay,
few
so
from 84.
yeah, I've got three from '84. Two of them are about the. Wait a minute. No, I've got two from '84. I've only got two. First
I think
one,
we have one of them. I bet you they're the same. I have two
I
of the
bet you we do too. Came out in January.
same. Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, first Bon Jovi. Now you've probably got the first version of that I ever had. So now it's yellow and it wraps around. This is actually a newer. This is a Canadian Columbia House cassette. Okay, that's
I've got the
interesting.
all black cassette.
Okay, so when I first bought that in '87, it looked like it. When I first bought that in '87, it looked like this, except the sticker was beige, like the side of like the spine
Well, so I
was.
wonder if there's another issue then that has the paper label.
Probably. I mean, they sold a few albums, right? I mean, even in the wake of, the success of Slippery When Wet, those first two albums both went, I think, double platinum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And by the way, couldn't happen to two nicer albums.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And the next one I have is the only soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
This is the
Oh,
Dune
wow.
soundtrack, which
Okay.
is, for all intents and purposes, a Toto album. There's one track on here by, I think, Brian Eno. The rest of it's all Toto. It's all instrumental stuff.
I don't remember a single song from that.
Yeah, I don't either. I saw the movie once. It's a weird movie. But anyway, this came out on Polydor, unlike so Toto was on
All Door,
Columbia.
yeah.
So it came out on Polydor, but there it is, the QC10. And so it's like a Toto album in disguise. There's what it looks like
Right.
on the side. And so it never explicitly says Toto on it, but it says so it's written, composed, and performed by Toto. Prophecy theme by Brian Eno, Daniel Lanois, and
Oh,
Roger
gee.
Eno.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, major. Uh, so yeah, I mean, and they don't count it because Toto's '88 album's called the seventh one. Well, it would actually be the eighth one if they counted that. So yeah, that's it for
Interesting.
'84 for me.
Okay, well, I've got two more from 84. I thought you would have had this one, but Scorpions
No, I'm
Love
not
at
a
First
not a
Sting.
Scorpions fan.
Oh, wow.
I
I'm
know.
a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
I
Like
love
few of their
this album.
songs, but yeah, and that was a huge album for them.
Oh my God, this is a
That would
massive
definitely
album.
been when I first heard of them. Was like Rock You Like a Hurricane for sure.
Yeah, this when I kind of discovered them in 88 with Savage Amusement, but I went back to this one. This is the clear
Yeah,
cassette.
it'd be a
So I'm
Columbia
guessing this is a
House.
later release, but this is an amazing album. I'm looking forward to the movie that's being made about
Oh
them.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Eddie Trunk has a guest appearance in it,
Yeah,
supposedly.
yeah. I saw a picture. I wouldn't even recognize him.
I
Doesn't look
know, with
anything like
hair.
him. Yeah, wouldn't even recognize. His face doesn't even look the same.
Love this band. And the last one I have from '84. This is so the I bought this back in 1985 because I loved the single from it. This is the Icicle Works.
Oh, yeah, we did a chart episode and you told me about this. Yeah,
Yes.
Whisper to a Scream, yeah.
Whisper to a
And that's
Scream,
on
Birds
Beggar's
Fly.
Banquet, which that's a
Beggars,
UK label. I know some of the
exactly.
cult stuff is on that label too.
Beggars Banquet. And this
Love
is
and Rockets, remember them?
yeah. So these are another UK band that I don't remember if they did anything beyond this. Maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't know, but everybody knows. Like a lot of people know that song "Whisper to
Yeah,
a Scream." Yeah,
Whisper to a Scream is really, really good. And
yeah.
you know what? I don't think Tim. I don't think I've listened to any of the other songs on
Yeah.
this.
Well, that's really interesting because yeah, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you what the album cover looks like, but I know the song.
Yeah, it's very weird because it's a very tiny picture
Yeah.
of it looks like a tree, like I don't even it's weird. It's a weird.
There's something very English about that. Like it's very European looking.
Yeah, exactly.
It
That's
looks
all
like something The Cure would do or something.
the Cure or
Or
like Hawk Talk or whatever, but that's
yeah,
all I have from
yes.
84.
I
Hawk
think
Talk,
Talk Talk has an album that looks something like that.
I think
I
so.
think, yeah. So I've only got one from 85.
Probably the
Um,
same one I have.
well, let's see. Yeah,
Ta-da.
70. Yeah. This was actually the first thing from Bon Jovi I ever got.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too. And
in
it was
80.
because of In and Out of Love that I saw the video on the Pepsi Power Hour.
I just knew that I wanted to get all of them. But yeah. So this one, yeah, I've
Both
had
got
the
the.
yeah,
I like this
but
look.
now this one, now ours are different because this is solid plastic and it's a little
Oh
bit
yeah, I've
different.
got the small window.
Yeah.
So see, there you go. Like there's
So
so
this
many
is different
different,
again, but yet the rest of the design is the same.
so many
And
different possibilities with.
this doesn't have any of the QC10, but it's got all that information. And see, I remember I would look through these credits, especially these Bon Jovi ones. I would just comb
Oh
through them.
yeah, me too.
And by the way, um, my original Slippery When Wet was Canadian and it was a QC10, but I don't have that one anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, so
a shame.
but there are at least four cassettes that when I first had them were the QC10.
Yeah,
Now I don't. And they are Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers, Slippery
strangers.
When Wet, Hysteria, and Kiss Asylum.
Okay, you know what? You're gonna send me on a mission then because I have multiple Hysteria cassettes and not one of them is QC10.
I've seen it. I know it
I got to
exists.
find that now.
Yeah, I know it exists.
Okay.
So there you go. So I've only got one from 86.
Okay, I got one from '85.
Yeah.
I think it's '85. Yeah, it is '85.
I'm gonna guess. Is it a live album?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's by a band I really enjoyed in the mid '80s because they had some really they're a pop band, British.
Oh
ABC.
yeah. It's got Be Near Me and
How to Be a Millionaire, How to
yeah.
Be a Zillionaire is the album title. This is an original that I bought back then, but some paper label, so
Yeah.
smaller window.
Yeah.
Good album.
No, I was gonna guess Worldwide Live by Scorpions.
So I have Worldwide Live, but it's not
It's not a
QC10.
QC10. Yeah. Yeah. That's so weird. Yeah. Okay, so I've got one from 86 and it's a gem because it's probably the thing that I don't have on CD that I want the most. I've talked about it a lot. Hearing aid.
Oh,
Yep. UC10.
yes, sir.
Uh probably only the one issue of it, I would think.
I think so.
I found this, Chris, I found this cassette at a Zeller's in 1993 for $1.
No.
And I couldn't believe I actually kind of forgotten about Hearing Aid. I remember seeing it a lot in 86 on Much Music, both the long version and the shortened version. But at
Yep.
Power Hour would play the long version. I think I saw
Right.
the documentary on it. And I wasn't even into most of those bands at the time. I just thought it was cool. It was one of those benefit songs.
Oh, it's a great
But
compilation.
by 1993, obviously, for at least 3 years, I was diehard into this band.
Yep.
Well, I totally forgot Dave Meniketti sang on Stars, but it also had
That's right.
the studio track Go for the Throat, which had never been on any of their albums. It was a B-side, and there's a live
Right.
version of it on Open Fire. So I was like, score. It had For me, I thought it was cool. It had a live version of Distant Early Warning by Rush, and it's got a live version of Heaven's on Fire, which I
Yep,
think it sounds an awful lot like it comes from the Animalized live uncensored home video.
could be.
Scorpions, The Zoo is on here.
Well, it's a great compilation.
That has got one of my favorite Klaus Meine. Like, do you know why we love to play California? Do you know why? Because you people, you really know how to party. I love it. So good. Anyway, so
That's a great compilation.
I've only got one cassette left. It's from '87.
I only have one left too. It might be the same one. This one uh, was kind of their coming out party for sure. The Cult.
Oh, no. But yeah, that's
Lecture.
another example of a band that if you bought that in the US, they were on Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so this is Vertigo
Yeah.
in Canada. Interesting though that they used the full front for the full artwork, and the
Yeah.
10 does not wrap around, right?
Yeah.
It's the polygram embossed case. This is paper label as well,
Yeah.
which is great. And what I like is finally, oh look,
Oh, it's got some credits. Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
got some pictures, we've got lyrics,
Yeah.
and that is the last QC10 87 that I have.
So the last one I have was a follow-up to a successful comeback album, which I already mentioned I used to have as a QC10. Now I don't. Deep Purple, The House of
Oh
Blue Light.
yes, yeah.
Not quite as good, although I think Bad Attitudes is as good as anything on
I
Perfect
remember when this
Strangers.
came out, I was looking forward to it because I loved Perfect Strangers. This was a letdown for me.
Yeah. I think the first track is really good, but other than that, it's kind of a mixed bag. This is what it looks like on the side.
Ooh, it got the
So it's
interesting logo.
but it's also this one's like my 7800 Fahrenheit tape because it's a smaller window, but it's hard plastic.
Ah,
So,
interesting.
and I think this one also has, this has, so it's got the pictures, and believe it or not, that's all the lyrics. It is very, very, very small.
How do you read that?
You can't. You read it, you get the record out, is what you do. Um, Actually, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that my Cinderella Night Songs was also a QC10 when I first bought it, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
Oh, I'm thinking, I
But
wonder if mine was. But yeah, that's it.
it might not have been. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've never seen any from '88. Somebody out there could let us know because I know that by the time, say, like New Jersey came out and Long
Yeah,
Cold Winter and ones that I would have been buying, they didn't seem to be using that anymore. They eventually, at least in the States, they also started using the chromium dioxide. Because you see the CrO2 on the
yes,
US polygram cassettes too.
right.
So there you go.
There you
One of
go.
our favorite types of episodes to do, guys. Quality has a name. Don't forget it. QC10, European precision. Listen to them now. Maybe not so much.
Maybe not so much. Yeah,
But what have you
exactly.
guys got out there for the QC10 tapes? We'd love to see them. I'm sure that we could probably find someone that, that collects Kiss and has a whole bunch of them, but
Yeah.
the variants. But
And
anyway,
I've been given a mission now. I got to go find that Hysteria copy. So
yes, you do. If yeah, should you choose to accept it, and you do.
I
All
do.
right. Uh, oh yeah, it was
You
frozen up for a second. Yeah. Don't forget to check out Chris on all of the formats, and we'll see you later on Tim's Vinyl Confessions. Thank you for watching.